Good morning, everyone. Before anything else, I would like to present the Group 7 members. Princess Ermie Ducay, Hazel Layonon, Marjorie Petalcurin, and Marialyn Layonon. And we are tasked to report Republic Act number 8491. Republic Act 8491 is intended to invigorate love for the country and underscore the importance of complying with standard expressions and respect for our national symbols. Section 1. Flag and Heraldic Code of the Philippines. The flag is the country's most cherished symbol. It is the nation's emblem for freedom. It symbolizes patriotism, love of country, and sense of nationhood and embodies the aspirations and sentiments of the Filipino people in our unceasing quest for independence. Section 2. Declaration of Policy and Objectives. It is the policy of the state to herein prescribe the code of national flag, anthem, motto, coat of arms, and other heraldic items and devices of the Philippines, ensure the promotion and implementation of its corresponding rules and regulations, and adopt effective administrative, regulatory, coordinative, and supervisory programs and activities where appropriate in conformity with national government policies. This relates to teaching profession because we all need to declare policy and objectives in order to create a peaceful environment. Section 3. Scope of application. These rules shall also apply to individuals, public and private entities, military and police agencies, and other branches or instrumentalities of the national and local government, including government-owned or controlled corporations, and also shall be observed in and within the entire territory of the Philippines as such as defined in the Constitution and laws of the Republic of the Philippines. This relates to the teaching profession because the declared policies or rules shall be applied to individuals no matter what their differences are. Section 4. Interpretation. In the interpretation of the provisions of Republic Act No. 8491, Series of 1998, the Flag and Heraldic Code of the Philippines, hereinafter called RA No. 8491, and of these rules that interpretation will promote or sustain reverence and respect for the flag, the anthem, and other the national symbols, all of which embody national ideals and traditions, shall be given paramount consideration. This relates to the teaching profession by interpreting what role model does to sustain reference and respect for a certain topic. Section 6. Scope of powers and functions. The institution shall perform planning, monitoring, coordinating, implementing, and policy formulating functions wherever and whenever appropriate, and in the process, exercise of administrative, regulatory, and supervisory authority over the implementation of the provisions of RA No. 8491 within the Philippine territorial limits, and in conformity with national government policies. This relates to the teaching profession because we shall perform planning, monitoring, coordinating, and implementation of the political rules that has been agreed to for us to see the outcome of the people in the community functions well in the given policies.
In continuation to our topic, I've been assigned to discuss the following section which emphasizes the guidelines of flag raising and lowering. Section 16 enumerates the following guidelines, and the flag must be displayed as followed. A. Inside or outside a building or an stationary flagpole. If the flag is displayed indoors on a flagpole, it shall be placed at the left of the observer as one enters the room. B. From the top of a flagpole, which shall be at prominent place or a commanding position in the relation to surrounding buildings. C. From a stop projecting upward from the window sill, canopy, balcony, or facade of a building. D. In a suspended position from a roof extending from a building to pole erected away from the building. E. Flat against the wall vertically with the sun and stars on top. And F. Hanging in a vertical position across a street with a blue field pointing east if the road is heading south or north, or pointing north if the road is heading east or west. In Section 17, the flag shall not be raised when the weather is inclement. If already raised, the flag shall not be lowered. The flag shall be hoisted to the top brusquely and lowered ceremoniously. The flag shall never touch anything beneath it, such as the ground, flood, water, or any other objects. After being lowered, the flag shall be handled and folded solemnly as part of the ceremony. Next is the conduct of flag raising ceremony. And Section 21 states that during the flag raising ceremony, the assembly shall stand in formation facing the flag. At the moment the first note of the anthem is heard, everyone on the premises shall come to attention. Moving vehicles shall stop. All persons present shall raise their right palms over their chests. Those with hats shall uncover, while those in military, scouting, security guard, and citizens' military training uniform shall give a salute prescribed by the regulations, which salute shall be completed upon the last note of the anthem. Moving on to the pledge to the flag. As stated in Section 25, the following shall be the pledge of allegiance to the Philippine flag. Ako ay Pilipino, buong katapatan nanunumpa sa watawat ng Pilipinas at sa bansang kanyang sinasagisag na may dangal, katarungan at kalayaan na pinakikilos ng sambayanang makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan at makabansa. Such pledge shall be recited while standing with the right hand, palm opened and raised shoulder high. Individual whose faith or religious beliefs prohibit them from making such pledge must nonetheless show full respect when the pledge is being rendered by standing at attention. Pledging to the flag is important for us Filipinos as it serves as our promise that we will always be true to our country. And as an aspiring educators, we would be pledging to the flag to dedicate our vocation to teaching, to help our fellow Filipino citizens in building a bright future for our country by advocating ourselves to our profession. Next is the National Flag Days. National Flag Days is another important day to remember to honor our flag. And Section 26 stated that the period from May 28 to June 12 of each year is declared as National Flag Days, during which period all offices, agencies, and instrumentalities of the government, business establishments, institutions of learning, private buildings, and homes are enjoined to display the national flag. National Flag Day is observed as a national holiday in the Philippines in celebration of their independence from Spanish. It was on this day in 1898 that the flag was hoisted for the first time and the nation came together to form the country's first republic. The flag remains a symbol of patriotism and nationalism, and in the Philippines, it was a beacon of hope during the tyrannous times of the colonial era. As we all know, flag is the symbol of our country and the symbol of our freedom, which was brought to us by our heroes. So just like our previous Education Secretary Leonor Magtolis Briones said, we shall always honor and respect the Philippine flag as the symbol of the collective sacrifices made by all of our heroes who have fought for the country's freedom. If not because of them, we don't know what our country might look like today.
In continuation to our report, I've been assigned to discuss Section 32 to 37, emphasizing the prohibited acts in using the national flag and about the national anthem. Section 32 states that all government agencies and instrumentalities shall ensure that the requirements under this Act with respect to the standards, requisitions, and delivery of the national flag are strictly complied with. Section 33 states that all departments shall include in their annual budgets the necessary outlay for the purchase of the national flag. And it means that purchasing our own flag is important. That's why it must always have a budget allocated for it in every government department, including school institutions. And now we will go further to the prohibited acts or actions that must be avoided in using the national flag. Section 34 states that it shall be prohibited. There are 10 prohibited acts that are listed under this Act, but we only include the two most important ones. The first one was to mutilate, deface, defile, trample on, or cast contempt any act or omission casting dishonor or ridicule upon the flag over its surface. Thus, it is illegal to burn the Philippine flag in rallies. It means that ruining the beauty of severely damaging the surface of the flag and making it unclean was not allowed, as it is considered to be disrespectful to our national flag. The second one was to wear the flag in whole or part of a costume or uniform. It means that wearing the national flag is prohibited even by how important an event is. We will proceed to Chapter 2, the National Anthem. So what is a national anthem? It is a product of revolution, a response to the need of the revolutionary times that give birth to it. And these needs arose in 1898, when the revolution against Spain was in its second year and Filipino victory was in sight. And that's the reason why the national anthem must always be valued. And the first section under it was Section 35, that states that the national anthem is entitled Lupang Hinirang. The second one is Section 36, that further states that the national anthem shall always be sung in the national language within or without the country. It must always be in Filipino and should not be translated into English, even if it sung outside the Philippines. For instance, if the Philippines has special participation in an event in the United States, just like the fight of Manny Pacquiao, our national anthem must always be in its lyrics. And I believe that all of us know already the lyrics of our national anthem. And the third one is the Section 37. The rendition of the national anthem, whether played or sung, shall be in accordance with the musical arrangement and composition of Julian Felipe. We all understand that according to the National Historic Commission of the Philippines, the proper tempo is 2/4, 100 metronomes, and the anthem should last 53 seconds.
Now let's proceed to Chapter 39. Stated here that all officials and employees of the national and local governments displaying the national flag and government institutions of learning are hereby directed to comply strictly with the rules prescribed for the rendition of the anthem. Since the Department of Education is under the government institution, we as future educators are encouraged to strictly follow this rule, which is the rendition of the national anthem. Chapter 3. It is all about the national motto. Stated in Section 40 is our national motto, and it shall be Makadiyos, Makatao, Makakalikasan at Makabansa. Declared in Chapter 7 are the penalties. Stated in Section 48 is the failure or refusal to observe the provision of this Act and any violation of the corresponding rules and regulations issued by the Office of the President shall, after proper notice and hearing, be penalized by public censure, which shall be published at least once in a newspaper of general circulation. The Department of Education was not exempted from this law. Educational institutions which fail or refuses to observe the provision of this Act for the second time shall cause the cancellation of their recognition of permit. And lastly is Section 49. It is highly encouraged to all students that the national anthem, as adopted by law, shall be committed to memory by all students of both public and private educational institutions, and it shall be performed during the flag ceremony. In addition, they shall make available the vocal, piano, or band scores of the national anthem and, adopted by law, to all private and public schools as well as the general public.